Welcome back, everybody. This is Easy Rollers D&D, episode number 29. Here is the recap. In the last episode, the party continued their way toward the Sky Island. They discovered it was tethered to the main island by a mithril chain. Faced with the prospect of having to climb it, they instead decided to have a look around, where they discovered in a small building nearby a teleportation circle. Initially, they had no clue on how to operate it, but as Gottle and the companion got closer, it activated, along with glowing runes on their metal bodies. As they all teleported up to the Sky Island, Gottle unlocked a memory, one of him fleeing this place, and some part of him being the key to activate certain circles. They made their way through the remains of a long-destroyed but not abandoned city, as figures of warforged constructs appeared nervously from doorways and behind rubble. The companion led them to a once grand stately home which he thought was still home to the mistress, but sadly no more. All was not lost though, as Gottle and the companion became aware of a strange whisper compelling them to head to the forge, and this is where they met a spider-like warforged called the Forge Master. Beneath the grounds of the stately home, where a vast forge had been built, where beings like Gottle and the companion had come to life. They were urged to join with the Forge Master and purge the remaining humanity to join in the destruction of those who did ill to them. Not so keen on this, a fight broke out, and though it nearly killed the entire party, they were eventually able to come out on top, and Gottle acquired a strange component from the Forge Master's remains. When they emerged back into the ruins of the town here, the warforged constructs that were previously fearful emerged from hiding, in amazement that the party had emerged at all, albeit battered and bloodied, but had emerged. And being looked on in awe, this is where we start the episode today. A tall, slender construct that appears almost human-like, has a very fine, soft and feminine feature about it, yet broken and rusted in places and in need of repair, steps forward from the crowd that are assembling. Hello. I'm sorry we were fearful to begin with when you first arrived. This one, and she gestures to the companion that you've had with you, is known to us. They have visited here several times, but I think their memory is damaged. They never seem to remember us, just the mistress. Though I have never seen them venture to the old house before, or even onto its grounds. They've always come to the boundary and then turned away after some time. Judging by your appearance, you must have faced the Forge Master. But how are you still alive? They take organic matter and convert it, and those already converted, they try to wring out any last shreds of life.
We managed to wring out the last shreds of life of the Forge Master.
Well, I'm very pleased to hear that. They have been a menace and a tyranny to our kind for so long.
There'll be no more disappearing now, I guess.
I hope not. So many have gone in, few come out, and those that do are so different.
It will not bother you again.
It appears safe to go up there again now. You might find some spare parts and tools to maybe, look after yourselves a bit.
Yes, with the Forge Master gone, we can begin to repair ourselves without fear of being completely changed forever. She looks at, or they turn to the others. I believe it would be good if we could rebuild here on the Sky Island once more. Rebuild it. Bring it back to how it was. You see, many of us were actually the inhabitants here. And all of us died in that terrible cataclysm. And we all, in one way or another, we've pieced together, we were woken up in these forms by the Forge Master. And then,
But you remember the events.
before the cataclysm or after?
Well, before, if you remember being organic.
Some of us have better memories than others, and we've been able to piece together what might have happened. There was...
Do you have a record of that?
We do not. We have pieced it together from our memories, and we have written it down. But we believe there was a festival that took place, an annual festival, and then something happened. There was a rift in the sky, and a strange beam of light, and a being tried to come through this rift, and then there was an explosion, and for many, darkness. Some recall the earth trembled. 2 of the other sky islands fell out of the sky and destroyed the ground below. Ours remained, however. And then again, darkness. And then, piece by piece, bit by bit, we all began to wake up. Some recall armoured men attacking. What repelled them, we do not know. But they seem to be responsible. And then life carried on. We tried to piece things together, but the Forge Master changed. And with that change brought this terrible oppression, and we became fearful and hid.
Right. You remember there were mages, battle mages. I remember.
Yes.
I don't know whether I fought against them or for them, but I know I was involved in a fight, and then that was when I was a human, of course. And then I woke up in this body, but with memories of the man who went before.
Many of us have similar memories. But again, it is all fragmented. We've had, as we take it, around 450 cycles to piece this together, and we have meticulously, unfortunately some were, as you know, taken by the Forge Master and changed or didn't come back, and so some fragments have been lost before they were recorded, but we have recorded much of such a long period.
Do you have that record?
Yes, we keep it safe.
Is it possible to read it?
You can read it, yes.
Thank you. I would look forward to doing that.
We will show it to you in what we know to be the old library. Unfortunately, like much of the rest of this place, it is in ruins, but we've been able to clear it and use it as our almost gathering point where we like to come to try and understand. But we
look forward to reading that.
We daren't stay there too long previously, for the Forge Master would send out and take us if we were not hiding.
definitely something we want to do, I think. You two, is there anywhere else that we need to check out up on this Sky Island?
I think there's quite a few areas we need to check out.
Would you,
Yeah, I don't think we finished everything.
with your permission, we would allow your companion to stay with us and repair them, and perhaps they may remember who they were.
That would be fantastic.
We
I
will
do
do that.
feel an affinity with them. They're a similar construct to myself.
This one, who's talking to you, holds out their hand towards them and says, "Come, little one. I am XC192. Stay with us. You will be safe now, and we will repair you, much as ourselves." She looks to you, or they look to you, Gottle. Do you require our assistance?
I think, by and large, I'm okay. I think, I've got a couple of dents and things, but that's no big deal. I'm quite happy not to be, fresh out of the box. If ever you come up with some ideas of maybe improvements, then that would be great.
I think we should begin by repairing, and then we can look at whatever the Forge Master was doing. Perhaps there will be options available that we can explore.
Yes, maybe we can return to you after we've completed the survey of the Sky Island.
There is one piece of information which we have collected, though none of us really remember this from before. The Sky Island is tethered to what is remaining of Barneg below, but there was once a time it could move freely around the world. There,
What, like a ship?
like a ship, there was, we believe, limited control, but it could be moved. It is tethered here by choice. The tether is what you would call, and they look to another one, and another one sort of steps forward, another of these warforged, perhaps bulkier, almost as if they've been modelled after a dwarf, sort of steps forward and says, "An anchor." Yes, an anchor. It might not be a permanent fixture, but none of us really know. Only one or two who are now taken were knowledgeable of this ability to traverse the skies.
Maybe we might come across some clues as we explore the rest of the location here. If you concentrate on the forge and we go out and check the rest, the areas that you weren't able to go to.
We can look into the forge. There is one more area you might check out around the manor house. The royal vaults. They are built below the manor. There is an entranceway, though it is probably buried, but we can accompany you and uncover it. Though we would not go down, for fear of whatever the Forge Master may have done.
There may be some clues that would help you with your reconstruction.
There may be. In the meantime, as you are all rather battered. Would you care to rest? Unfortunately for the organics, we do not have any food. But you are more than welcome to rest.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we need a little bit of rest.
It's probably, I would say, early afternoon, I think, from the time you got up here. It's not particularly late, but you could, if you wanted to, take a long rest and get stuff back.
It
If
makes
you need
sense
it.
to just do a bit of spit and polishing, and then maybe set off fresh in the morning for these royal vaults. What do you think, gang?
I'll be very happy to rest.
Yeah,
friend.
me too.
Cool. They sort of envelop you and take you in, and some of them are like, particularly with like Rolio and Opal, they're reminding themselves of what an organic being is, and they sort of, you know, they're looking at your clothes, they're touching you, they're pinching you and stuff, you know, trying to remember what flesh is like, and they take you to they take you to what they called the library, the most the cleanest and clearest of all the destroyed buildings, and they sort of gesture that you can stay here for as long as you like, which you said would be tomorrow morning. But they don't have anything to offer you. They have no food. They have no water. They have no need of it. So
I'll just cast Good Berry for myself for a bit of food.
and you do like you cast a spell, and they seem to be like, ooh, taken aback by it, and magic. We haven't seen magic in a long time, you know.
Are there any animals in did you say there is a forest out?
No, this is like this. The entire Sky Island is like a developed area.
Okay.
There is some greenery, and of course it's been neglected for 150 years. So there is, you know, there's growth and stuff like nature has taken back over, but there's not a forest. Where you discovered your penguin feast was below on the mainland. You could get Gottle to teleport you back down there and go hunting if you wanted to.
Unless, do we have any more blood left?
I don't know. That's
Oh,
down
but
to
I
you.
did. But I
No.
did have the feast recently because it's the same day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Same
You had 4
destiny.
days, if I remember.
Yeah, since you picked up a penguin.
Yeah, that's fine.
I have also got some ration packs available that I won't be using. I'm just carrying them around for effect.
You just perhaps see Gottle pick up a flask that once had Guinness in it. Sorry, and other brands are available. And perhaps like Sam and Frodo on the, you know, on the slopes of Mount Doom trying to wrench out the last drop.
So yeah, if you want to use these ration packs, I'm doing nothing with them at all. They're just, you know, taking up space.
Yeah, I've got my berries.
You got your berries. You're happy. Are there any of the sort of constructs that are just sort of broken, as in mendable?
Do you mean like out of commission, but they could be mended?
Well, no, anyone that's got sort of peeling bits of metalwork or something that I could cast mending on to help them out a little bit.
Oh, they're all absolutely knackered.
If I could just go around casting mending willy-nilly.
You can go around casting mending as much as you can cast mending.
It is a cantrip, so I can cast it until the cows come home.
Cool. Any minor, you know, damages and stuff.
Scuffs and
Scuffs and that. Yeah, you go around and you start patching them all up, and they are absolutely happy as Larry with you and thankful.
I'm going to be starting a new religious order.
I'm trying to think what the name of that order might be.
The Order of the Binnis. The Hand of Gottle, yes.
Can I have a quick look around, see if there's any books intact?
Oh, books intact. Um, there
Yeah,
there
I'll be searching
are
that history as well.
yeah,
Obviously.
there are books in here. As I say, it is a library. There are books in here. A lot of them are tattered and ruined. There are a couple which are, you know, legible. Is there any particular thing you were looking for?
Just the standard stuff, mate, about the creators and Pixis and
Um,
kind of things.
you might let me have a little roll. Let's see what you find. Ooh, it would help if I didn't chuck my microphone off the desk, wouldn't it?
That would help a lot.
Sorry if that caused a massive crash and a bang.
I didn't even...
Okie dokie, pig and a pokey, what have we got? You find 4 books. They're not in the best condition, they're quite deteriorated. One of them is a religious kind of tome, and it describes the various gods at play in this world. There is mention of creators. There is mention of the gods themselves, kind of revered something called Pixis.
Perfect. Alright. I'll just have a quick read through and then settle down for the night then.
Yeah, I mean, you would learn that. Let me see. What would you learn? You would probably learn that. Yeah, the gods themselves revered this being called Pixis, but only through certain people like clerics and such who were particularly connected to their deities. But there's not really much mention of extraplanar beings and stuff, you know, beyond just connections, you know.
Yeah, okay. Fine. I'll eat my berry and go to bed.
You know, eat your berry and go to bed. Gottle, you were looking for this history, this tome.
That's right. Yes, because they said it was in the library, and here I am in the library.
Yeah. So where have they gone? XC192 or XC for short will, at your request, bring you this tome, and it's I say tome. It's they've used the materials they have, and they've kind of carved it onto stone tablets. What they remember. Was there anything you particularly wanted to know?
I guess looking for any, because it's a sort of racial memory of the construct, isn't it, in a way? So it's just to see what because I have scattered memories of the event, and to see what they recorded for the event and see if it fills in any gaps in my knowledge. But I'm quite happy for that to be behind the scenes and revisited at some point.
Yeah, I mean,
have it ready.
Just they sort of talk you through it, and you know they talk about. I mean, obviously, people listening, watching have probably seen the prologue. If you haven't, go back and have a look at the prologue. You've played in the prologue, so you know what happened. But the gap that
it was there, but I've forgotten. No, I do.
the gap that's in Gottle's memory is what happened after the prologue and before this starts. So that gap. It talks about from collected and collective memories from these people or these Warforged. What it discusses is that a person came. No, they wouldn't know that part. Would they know that part?
Leave it for next time, and can do a little thing if you like, and give some thought to it.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. You have got little device that you took from the Forge Master,
Yes.
and perhaps they sort of see you, looking at it, and it's when perhaps you're looking at it, and XC sort of starts talking through some of this stuff, and they say to you, "What is this thing that you have?"
It's a piece. I think it's a piece of the Forge Master.
May I see it?
A memory holding device or something. Certainly, have a look.
And they look at it and they examine it and they say, "In my previous life, I believe I was some kind of artificer. This device should..." And they, "May I examine you?"
Certainly, go ahead. Sorry.
And they sort of look about your being, and then they... "This device will insert into..." And they sort of tap a panel on the back of your head. "There is a slot here I could potentially insert it into, and it might unlock things. Perhaps we can
Jesus,
add
that's
more."
crafty.
So they do, and they sort of do something in the back of your head, and then you get these visions. And a bit like R2D2, it projects all of a sudden this, and you didn't know you could do this. It projects this like this thing out into the world. Everyone's like, "Ooh, this is new," and
Cinema.
exactly, you turn into a projector.
You need to start cutting tickets.
And what we see is it's kind of like, it's not like filmed in the third person or something, but it's kind of like this. It's this person, and it's their like memoir almost, and they're talking to some sort of device, and it's sort of like, "Day 29. I have arrived at Barnack," and it's this man. "I have arrived at Barnack, and what remains of it. I am searching for the bodies now." And then it's like maybe a couple of days later or something like that, and it's "Experiments have begun. I have found a way to extract the life force, or what remains of it, from the bodies." And it turns out that what it is, after the events of the Cataclysm, a necromancer who fancied chancing his arm at some experimentation on the dead, knowing this was now a mass grave, decided he was going to come here. God, I mean, fancy this. What's the chances, eh?
He's like, oh.
So this guy turns up, and basically what he's up to, he's just doing experiments, and he starts to discover that he can extract, so kind of using like speak with the dead, but he can summon these souls out, and he's, with the purge going on by the Order of the Gauntlet, he's kind of decided he wants to create an army to oppose them. So you kind of get the impression he's trying to do, he's got the best of intentions, but in the worst possible way. And he kind of starts to build this forge beneath the ruins of the mansion, because so when you were down there, that power source with all the swirling things around it, the rings and stuff around it, is actually the power source for the Sky Island. And he starts to build the forge around this. And through this journal of what he's been up to, it turns out that he starts to experiment with, how can I contain the souls of these people? And he starts to create the idea of constructs, warforged, and then he starts to implant the souls into the warforged, and that's what's going on. Hearing of, or wanting to explore Barnack themselves to find the source of whatever went wrong, the Gauntlet turn up, and that's when they see what he's doing, and they effectively attack. They kill him, but he had planned for such an eventuality to continue his work, and that's where he had already constructed the Forge Master, who, upon his death, became one with him, and he continued his grisly work. He was in the process of building Gottle and igniting life into Gottle as this attack happened, hence why you remember an attack and fleeing. And that's what this chip presents, and that is, I mean, it will show you much more, you know, what the Forge Master did after joining with this, after the Gauntlet had left, but for what you're seeking, that's what it shows you.
Yeah, it may release other bits in the fullness of time.
But right now, it's
yeah, that's what it's giving me. Daddy!
And then XC sort of slaps you on the head and says, "Message? What message? Come on, show us again." Yeah, so that kind of completes a bit of a gap in your memory.
Excellent. I've noted down an approximation of that in my chat channel, so I might remember it.
Yeah, go back and watch or listen to this later on and take a proper note if you want to. And yeah, and they tell you, well, they've seen that, and then they kind of tell you more about from the tome, you know, what's happened since, you know, that's your memory filled in. But yeah, they say, you know, after that happened and the Forge Master had started churning up more and more, it was to create this army effectively. I can see you've sent me a message, James, but I don't click on your thing because if I do, it'll probably mess up the cameras.
Don't worry, mate. It's just my writing notes down.
Fair enough. Okie dokie. If there's anything else, if there's nothing else, I'll leave you to rest, and we can skip to the next day if you wish.
I think that was useful, and now I've got cinema in my head. It's great.
Yeah. Your little PlayStation 1 memory chip. You also find there's like thousands of games on there, and you can scroll through and pick whichever one you want for whichever console.
Excellent. Tetris. Away.
Fantasy Tetris.
Everyone just sees Gottle just sat in the corner, absolutely, completely still, not talking, not doing anything, but in his head, there's like Pong going on, and there's Tetris, and
Great success.
yeah. And then when he finally runs out of lives, he goes do 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 do.
Yes. Oh, I'd be quite entertained with all the news and obviously the memories of the event. Forged. Now I know I'm Luke Skywalker because I killed my own dad. What's going on with that?
Well,
You did.
Dad did.
maybe.
Kind of. Forge Master building me. He is the creator.
Well, creator of this genesis of your being.
Yes, that's right. I'm not going to find my original daddy. I mean, you know, he's long back in Ireland.
Well, you never know. They could have become a lich or something.
Or another warforged.
Yeah.
Jesus, no.
Now there's a thought.
That's an idea. Right, so we rest.
Have a rest and start to discuss amongst yourselves the plans for the next day.
So these vaults, do you think we'll do the vaults then? Should we do the vaults? We do the vaults? I put pressure in the vaults. I like pressure. Do the vaults.
Yeah, I think we do. We go to the vaults. I've got a funny feeling that if from the visions we saw from you, that the anchor point would probably be with the forge as well.
Also, we might be able to find things that they will be useful to us,
Yes,
like
so,
other than personal things. It will be like even money or weapons, or that they might be helpful for us in the vault.
If you can find the anchor point release and the engine and some sort of steering rails, imagine being able to just drive an island all over the place.
be very handy as well. Be a lot better than being on the ocean at the moment.
That's right. I see the Kraken Reach up here.
Yeah,
Fecker.
right. Hmm.
So definitely the vaults. We'll dig those out, have a little look.
Yes. I say we go to the vaults. Then.
Are you going to be all right without decimating animal populations there, Flame? It's Flame.
Opal.
No, it's not. Opal. Sorry.
Opal in this one.
Oh, it's complicated when you got two things going on. It is. Yeah, sorry. Opal.
For now I'm fine. Uh, and for the next few days I will be alright. But if needed, I might ask you to teleport me down to the penguins and have a snack. But for now I'm okay.
When you say penguins, I believe there was only one left.
Yeah, you never know. It might procreate or my
Okay,
toss
tell you
is,
on.
With itself?
my toss is like
Yeah.
parthenogenesis.
I
You
think
never know.
given how
So-
you left it all depressed and alone, it's probably just cast itself off a cliff by now.
Oh, I should have eaten it too then.
It's okay. There might be a stash of eggs somewhere.
We will. Yeah, I think for now, I'm alright. If I feel closer to, before I feel too hungry, I will let you know, and then we will see. Do we have any of the blood left that we got? We
I
are,
don't think it would have lasted in the flasks for the sea
yeah.
voyage. And to be
No.
honest,
Not
that's
even
why you
about
went
blood.
on to the penguins.
Like I said, it's down to you. I don't know. I'd hope you're tracking it, but don't forget you do have a boat full of people, still waiting for you on the northern side of the island, and they're practically right below the Sky Island, actually.
For now, I am okay. But
Yeah.
I will let you know if I have issues.
You're going to need a really long straw to reach that boat.
What bow? Oh, the boat.
The boat.
Yes. I thought you said bow.
Well, as long as you cast Featherfall, you could gently glide down there.
That's it.
I can climb, but I can spider climb down the
Can.
oh, no, how do you call them? Sorry, my brain is completely, the fluffy white things in the sky, clouds.
Yeah, I don't know if you can spider climb on those. They're famously not solid.
You never know.
Could you imagine if clouds were like solid and aeroplanes had to dodge every single one?
No.
Oh, shit, there's a contrail. Oh,
Oh, the fluffy white things in the sky.
yeah.
Guys,
I
my,
climbed the
my,
fluffy one. Hey,
my brain is not working at all, so
mate, you're playing in a foreign language. You're doing dolphin.
Hey, if your brain ain't working now, you wait to see what I got for you.
See,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we're going to go to the vaults, I think.
Cool.
Yes.
The vaults, obviously they've suggested it. It's not the only thing. If there's anything else you wanted to look at, you're more than welcome to sort of have a wander around.
what else is in the area?
Well, you got this library thing that you slept in. There's this mention of a vault. You've still got the forge, which could hold more secrets. You don't know.
It has got the power source.
You don't know any more about, as Gottle has already suggested. Oh, got my elbow. Has already suggested. How are you gonna, if this thing actually does fly? How do you control it? There's, there could be more to be uncovered. There might not be.
I think we should start with the vault and see what it has in, and then we can continue to the other things.
Okay. Well, it is the next morning. You've had a very, very long rest. And XC will meet with you and take you back to the manor. And they sort of guide you in and around the grounds. And you're taken to a long forgotten entrance of the manor house. And it's buried beneath quite a bit of rubble. Pardon me. It's buried beneath quite a bit of rubble, and they get a couple of the sturdier looking constructs to come up, and they start expertly excavating. Seems to be quite knowledgeable in where to look. And they remove several centuries of rubble and dirt, and they uncover an entrance quite at the heart of the estate. And Exia will say to you, this will lead down to the vault, but we won't go with you. We are fearful for whatever the Forge Master may or may not have found, what they may or may not have done. We are sorry, but we look forward to seeing you when you return.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you. Yes. And hopefully, when I get back, I might be able to do some mending with some more people.
Yes, we are much appreciative of your efforts, Gottle. And we will look forward to seeing what more you can help us with. I will take as many as I can to the forge, and we will see what we can do to repair.
Sweet.
Well, this passageway that leads downwards, it is initially quite dark, but you can see a glow of energy, and as you pass down further, it is those lovely smooth white walls that the main buildings are sort of built of, and it has the veins of the arcane energy in them, and it's glowing and seems to actually be flowing quite happily in this area. It doesn't seem to have been touched too much by the destruction of the surface. It goes down for quite a way, but at the end of the corridor you're faced with a square chamber. It levels out. It's about 20 foot by 20 foot as a square, and there's this enormous circular mechanism embedded with arcane sigils and intricate clockwork in the adjacent wall, and it's divided into three concentric rings that can rotate independently, each covered in symbols from an ancient script. A large central emblem displays the royal crest, which glows faintly with latent magic.
Do we examine the symbols and see? Do they look like symbols on the teleport?
No, these are completely different.
These are not the same as the teleport device, lads.
Okay. I will cast detect magic on it then.
Oh, it's very magical. It's incredibly magical.
Right.
And
Are
the
they
whole
runes?
the whole room, the whole corridor, everything is glowing with magic.
Right.
Are they like runes or anything recognisable?
So these
do a history
three
check or
rings,
Arcana.
there's an outer ring.
Yeah.
No, you don't need to make any history or arcana. The outer ring, I think you can give me as an investigation if you like, just to try and absolutely shore up that you know what you're looking at. Perfect, that's enough. The outer ring, you sort of go, astral bodies. You got the sun, moon, stars, and a comet. The middle ring has elements fire, water, air, and earth. And the inner ring are virtues, wisdom, valour, harmony, and legacy.
But I know that if like the rotation of the stars, the planet, the moon, and the sun, are they in correct orientation?
They are one ring.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure you've got the right symbol, and it'll be like. You could give me a wisdom check.
17.
So you get the impression that only one of those symbols is the right one, and then on the next ring only one, and the next ring only one, and they have to line up in the right order.
Can we examine the royal crest? See what picture that shows.
You're going to examine what, sorry?
The royal crest.
And how are you examining it?
I'm having a look at it to see if it's got any pictures of comets, suns, stars, or anything like that on it.
The royal crest. Oh, no, it's just the crest of the family. It doesn't have any of those
Right.
things on it.
I thought it might have given us a clue as to what was, in the rings.
No, the crest itself is one of well, I tell a lie. There is a moon on it. Seems to be what looks like a teardrop, or perhaps a drop of blood or something. But none of those other things match up with it.
Right, so it could be moon and water. Well, Rodeo, what goes with the moon and water?
Well, the tides. But valor, wisdom. What's the other two for valor, wisdom?
So the inner ring was wisdom, valor, harmony, and legacy. It wouldn't be written in common. It would be sort of like an elvish script or something like that.
Earth, wind, fire, water, star, sun, moon, comet, valor, wisdom, harmony.
Water, moon, harmony, you think there?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, water, moon, and harmony would be there. Or I would go also sun, fire, valor.
Right. What do you think then, Opal? Any clues there? No. Let's try water, the moon, and the harmony then.
Yeah.
So you turn the outer one to moon, the middle one to water, and the inner one to valor. Did you say?
Harmony.
Harmony. You turn them. Who's turning them, by the way?
I will.
Okay, you turn them, and as you touch it, this only goes for you. You experience a memory flash from your creator, especially with this chip that you have now in your head, and it's almost like they've uncovered a book, and it says, to rule the skies, one must rise with the wind, walk in the light, and leave a legacy untarnished. And as you kind of have that flash, it kind of goes psh, and sparks at you. It's not the correct combination.
Walk in the wind. Legacy untarnished.
To rule the skies, one must rise with the wind, walk in the light, and leave a legacy untarnished.
Rise with the wind, walk in the light, and leave a legacy untarnished.
You saying that out loud?
Yes, I'm saying that out loud.
Is that a vision you just had, Gottle, was it?
It's right, just sort of, came into my head as I was getting these. This orientation isn't right, by the way. It's definitely not right.
Well, we know wind and now legacy. So it would either be sun or stars.
Walk in the light.
Heavily imply the sun.
I would say so. But the
Try that.
stars also give out light as well, they are.
Yes.
But the brighter light is the sun.
Yes. To walk in the light, you would, yeah.
It says rise with the wind. Sunrise. You don't have star rise.
But you've got moonrise.
I'm not mooning again. The last time I stuck my arse out of the train, nearly fell off.
Aye. Yeah, let's do wind, sun, legacy. We'll get you to do it again just in case something else pops up.
So it's not wind, it's air. So air,
Oh, yeah.
Sun and legacy.
another harmless surge of static energy.
It's not right, Ted. Ted, it's not right.
Hmm.
Oh. I think my migraine's not letting me think very well. It's like, no, my brain
So
refuses to work.
what you have put so far?
Oh,
The first option was water harmony.
You chose sun,
Yeah.
air, and legacy on that turn.
and before we had moon, water, and harmony. But just because it fizzles doesn't mean they're all wrong. It just means there's one part which might be wrong.
Mm. Do you want to try stars?
Well, why not?
Try
Stars and the rest the same.
You switch the outer one to stars, and it goes. Chung, 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 chung. No, no static surges this time, but doesn't seem to do anything either. Besides, make some mechanical sounds.
Don't like that.
Maybe we've got one right now.
Which one? Stars, I guess.
Yeah, I'm guessing stars.
So you rise with the wind in the light.
What's everyone's passive? Opal, what's your passive perception? Because at the moment, it's the boys trying to figure this out.
13. I cannot read. I have to see them written because I cannot understand.
You well, they're trying to like figure all this out. You've heard this mechanical motion. You kind of like maybe tugging at Rodeo's coat, tapping on Gottle's shoulder. Are you two reacting to her doing this?
Yeah.
Or are you like, just go away? We're trying to figure it out.
No, we're a trio. We're not. You know,
Opal kind of
Horrendous.
realizes that there are there's a keyhole to one side.
There is a hole there. Do you have a key? I think we found. Did we not find the key last time?
No.
what's the shape of the hole?
It looks like a cog would fit in there.
Hog, you see, hog. I mean, I don't know. Hang on, notes. Let me check this note. What is down? I've got a memory card from the Forge Master, so I've not got hog in that note. Botany thing, no, not that. Anyone else got any cogs?
I've got no cogs. Can I have a look around the local vicinity for cogs?
Yeah.
You can have a
Maybe
look.
if we cannot find anything, we can go to the makers, to the other place first and see if there are any there.
I rolled a 12.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the person who wants to make sure this door stays shut, would not have left a key underneath the mat.
I mean, would I have had cogs in me at all?
I would have thought so.
Would I have any non-crucial cogs to living that could maybe be the right size for this keyhole cog thing?
I was waiting for you to go down the road of, can I take a cog out of me? You could, but I think we need to roll to make sure it's not a vital one. Because you don't know, and nor do these guys.
No, well, I guess sizing it up by eye might be the thing to do first. Go well. My knee joint looks about the right size, but my ankle looks better.
Yeah, it's not a huge cog. It'd be like the size of like a. Given how big Gottle is, be like the size of a coaster.
Right, where would I have a cost to start? Oh, they're all going to be useful. Hang on. Weren't there lots of bits of constructs left upstairs?
Yeah, there was.
Lots of detritus and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Spare
That's why I
parts.
said maybe we can go first to the.
Might be worth trying that.
Yeah.
Might be worth it. If not, we might find a cog on the old Forge Master's corpse.
Yeah, and to the Forge Master, because we might find something there.
Right. Let's
After
bookmark this and go back to the Forge Master area and see if we can find a cog. It's called Dead Body.
Okie dokie. So you're going out of here and you want to go back to the Forge Master, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unless we find loads of cogs, like a box of cogs or a magic door cog box,
Yeah.
Can I quickly just take a drawing of the keyhole?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, you make your way back out. Head to where you think you need to go. With Rolio's drawing and rough size guides. Someone make me an investigation roll.
21.
You find a cog that you think will fit.
Awesome.
What is a cog?
It's like the inside of a watch, the little gears with teeth on them.
So we go
I just
back.
realised I could have probably prestidigitated an object in the right shape.
Hindsight's
Says you can-
2020, dude.
If I can create a non-magical trinket, why didn't you just create a non-magical cog-sized trinket? Well, yeah, we'll try that.
Go see if this fits.
Yeah, go check it out.
Yeah, I'll pull it in.
You very pleased with yourselves. Take the cog back to the door. You pop the cog in, and it similar to like Gottle with the surge of energy, erupts a bolt of electrical sort of energy straight into your hand, Rolio, as you take 4 points of electrical damage, and it shoots the cog out.
Oh.
You put a cog in, but not the cog it wanted.
It's the wrong
I
cog.
think it needs a specific.
Right. Let's go with the rings again. What's on the rings? I'm gonna have to figure it out.
Well, I think you've got the rings right, but the outer ring was sun, moon, stars, and comet. The middle ring was fire, water, air, and earth, and the inner ring was wisdom, valor, harmony, and legacy.
Should we say if it says float to the light, maybe it's a comet that is floating?
The clue was to rule the skies, one must rise with the wind, walk in the light, and leave a legacy untarnished.
So I think it's a comet, fire, and legacy.
I think they might be in the right order. We just need the key.
Where are we going to find the bloody key?
The only one that would have it was the Forge Master. Did anyone check the Forge Master who was there? Did anyone loot the Forge Master?
No, I
Well,
haven't.
I picked up some stuff from that area, but it wasn't a cog. It was a set of flasks. I think it was a set of flasks. So I know it was a
You
set
got
of
some flasks and you got that memory card.
And the memory card, that was right, yeah.
Maybe the memory card can be a key.
No, it's not cog shaped. It's like a PS1 game.
Do you not have any cogs on you, like on your fingers?
Well, I do, but it won't be the right cog. We just found out that Brolio's have got his fingers fried for putting the wrong cog in. I'm not going to put one of mine in and fry my circuits. We probably need to go back to the Forge Master and see what there is there.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, maybe the Forge Master itself is the key.
It's possible.
Because if it is a Forge Master, it was a Forge thing, wasn't it?
Depends. I mean, would it be the Forge Master? Because, this place was here before he was here, surely.
It could be something in the manor as well.
I think we're going to have to search that whole thing.
Hmm.
But let's start with the Forge Master.
Yeah.
And
Start
see
the
if
Forge
he's got a cog with a little label on it saying, "It's the key to the secret door, you bastards."
Yes. All right. Let's go actually loot the Forge Master.
Well, you did. So, Gottle did loot the Forge Master, and the only thing they had was the card to come away with.
Right.
Um,
So if he's already been.
His fingers look like cog end. No.
no, they were like really pointy, weren't they?
Okay.
Should we search the manor then? Above this?
I don't want to be that DM, so I will give you a little clue. So far, nobody has searched anything besides the Forge Master's body and the forge where you discovered the remains of the people who that other boat belonged to.
Okay, what else is there in the area for us to search?
I mean,
the manor.
You got an entire
forge.
city that you haven't really explored.
Well, yes, but in this particular location where the
Where the
one
vault,
might reasonably.
where the vault door is, it's just an empty 20-foot by 20-foot room.
Yeah.
And above that's the manor. The forge, sorry. And then above that's the manor. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
That would be the layout, yeah.
So we need to start from somewhere. Where are we starting from?
The manor, I think.
I'm not telling you that. You need to go and do that yourself.
If the vault was here
I'm
before
asking
the
you the
Forge
rest.
Master.
Let's go room by room.
Yeah.
Right. To the manor board.
You go back up the ramp. You arrive back on the ground level. It's an empty shell of a building. There are still tattered boxes and like old chests and stuff in severe ruin. Parts of the building that look like they maybe have been a store area or an armory or something like that. It's all on one level. You can't go up a level. There's nothing left of it to be up another level, but all on the ground level. There's all different rooms or remains of rooms. It'd just be a case of let's have an investigation roll.
That's true.
5.
5, you just find some broken rubble.
Can we all do investigation, because we will all be looking around and see whoever brings the bigger one and see
If everyone wants to give me an
everything
investigation roll, if Gottle would like to give me a history roll, he can to tap into the memory
Natural
card and see what that
20.
gives.
Natural 20
I
for
got you.
investigation.
My history roll was 6.
You search the memory card and you just no, can't find anything. Opal with a natural 20, you discover what looks to be some kind of like maybe it was an old lobby or something in this building, and there are, in a destroyed old pot, there are like keys and such, and you see it was disturbed. Like, it wasn't just where it was destroyed and that's where it sat for 450 years. It was disturbed. And there are the faintest, and I mean the faintest, but with a natural 20 I'll give it to you, of tracks which resemble like the pincers of if the Forge Master was using the exo arms to move around rather than feet. A bit like Doc Ock from Spider-Man or something like that. You kind of get that impression that perhaps they were here and they took something.
Can I follow? So I call you guys and I try to follow the.
You won't be able to follow it anywhere because this was a long time ago, but there's enough left in the dirt that you could
Okay.
just see that they were at least here and they disturbed these keys.
So
and
they
these
took
are actual
something.
physical keys. These aren't like cogs, but they are
Yeah,
physical keys.
yeah.
But they took something.
They took something from in here.
Okay. We'll grab the keys as well,
Yeah,
and then yeah. So it'll be down in the forge, I'm guessing.
yeah, I think so.
So, to the forge.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go.
You go down to the forge. You see XC and a few of the others who were potential engineers, artificers, starting to do repair work on more of the Warforged. Some, they're definitely, a lot of them are looking better. Some seem to be undergoing, like, if you could call it surgeries, to like on their heads, and you get the impression they're maybe trying to restore functionality and stuff like that. As you know what you're looking for, and you extensively search, maybe you ask these guys.
I was going to show XE a picture of what I drew, and see if they've seen anything.
And they'll point out and go, "Oh yes, there is a pile of different cogs over by some books over there on that workbench." And when you go over, you find some books, and it talks about the vault. One of them talks specifically about the vault, and they must have been trying to find where this was, but they just couldn't find it. As I said, it was buried and took several of the heftier Warforged to actually excavate to get into it. They would never have had a chance of doing it, but they did find the key, and it's there. It is the cog that you're precisely looking for.
Excellent.
Yay!
So, if you head
Right, let's go.
back to the door, you place the cog in the recess, and nothing bad happens, but nothing else happens either.
Because we need to find also the correct on the rings, is it?
We found the correct thing on the rings. That's why it made the noise.
You got the correct thing. It made the noise to say that it was in the right place. You've put the cog in.
Okay.
We possibly need to turn the cog somehow.
You try and turn the cog, and it seems to be like almost like jammed in place. Like it needs something.
Does it need like a level to go into the cog and?
There's no you don't see any like attachment for a lever or anything like that. So
can I try turning one of the rings and then put it back in place again?
The rings at this point are locked in place.
Right.
So you've done part 1, you've done part 2. But there seems to be a part 3.
We need some kind of socket spanner.
Yeah.
Or toolkit. Where would they have a big toolkit? I wonder if it'd be back at the forge.
Do we need to go back to the forge?
I'll just stab Pixis in there and use that as a leverage.
Oh, you're putting what you're gonna use? You're gonna take Pixis out in its short sword form
Yeah.
and like just jab it at the door.
Yes.
What is Pixis?
Oh,
My talking sword.
well.
Oh,
When you take Pixis out and it forms, because it's only the handle, isn't it? And then it forms whatever the current level of weapon is.
Yes.
It kind of like materializes into the short sword, and Pixis says in your mind, "Energy required, energy needed." And if you touch the door with it, it channels arcane energy from itself into the door. And that's when everything starts glowing like crazy, and the cog starts going zzz, as it starts spinning around, and then insert mechanical noises here. The door itself rolls to one side, revealing beyond a vault.
another door.
Yeah, there's another door.
Is the markings on the wall, the white walls and that, like the same as Pixis's markings?
No,
It's slightly
nothing,
different. Yeah.
nothing like this. Is just like veins of energy that used to flow through the city, but these parts that were untouched by the destruction still have it.
Okay.
And it's, if you cast your mind back to the last episode when you went into the forge, it's the same color and such as the core that was being used to power the forge.
Yep. Okay.
So, you are faced. Go on.
I was going to say I'm going to keep Pixis out after learning that revelation.
Cool. No worries. Pixis will say to you, another piece beyond.
Interesting.
This is
We move on.
It is quite a cavernous space. The walls that you can see are smooth, with the same veins of arcane energy flowing through. And as you enter, this whole room lights up with this energy. It seems to be spreading around in all these intricate patterns that almost appear like maps of the stars and constellations. You see there are artifacts, tomes, scrolls, and gold beyond measure in this room.
Can we go and swim in it?
You can try and swim in it.
Scrooge McDuck.
I'm doing a Donald Duck. Not Donald, sorry, a Scrooge
Scrooge.
McDuck. I always wanted to do that.
Anyone else watch Mythbusters?
Huh? What?
It's what would happen to you if you tried doing it, basically. So they did it on Mythbusters.
They did.
Oh, did they? And what happened? Did they manage?
Now, how far's the drop into the gold? Because it's what, 1d6?
No, it's all you're all on one level, and it's just piled up and heaped.
No. Is it? No, it probably won't be the same currencies we're currently using, though. That's the thing. If it's 450 years old. Actually, I will check. I will check the gold and see how old it is.
You pick up a coin, and it is. You're right. It's not the current currency, but gold's gold when you can smelt it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So.
Given that, we'll be coming back out this way, we might want to just leave it here for now and maybe come back in a bit.
Yeah. But I do want to have a look around.
Yeah, I would
So
like
this-
to see if there are any weapons or anything that can be useful for us.
There are several artifacts, and you investigate the room. I'm not going to make you roll for it because, I mean, you can say as long as you like in here. You come across some of the more notable things. I said there's loads of stuff. The more notable, you come across a crown, and it's sat next to a large stone chair. The stone chair is itself smooth white stone, similar to what you've seen in all the buildings. Has the channels that the arcane energy would flow through, but it has none flowing through it. And one of the arms is like a handle, and it raises up at a slight angle, and it's covered in glyphs and runes. and there's this crown next to it, and it's like a delicate circlet of platinum and sapphire, and it seems to be infused with some sort of energy. That's a crown. You would need to have it identified and attuned to use it. You come across again, notably, a in a canvas pouch, quite large. Some gauntlets. They seem to be like something a knight would wear. They seem to hum with like a static energy, drawn to that. You come across on like a dummy, effectively like a mantle, a cloak. It's a regal blue and gold cloak. But for rodeo, you're drawn to a lance, which is sort of just sticking out of a pile, and Pixis is going crazy and going, "This is the shard, this is it, the shard, Pixis shard."
Yeah, I'll go over to the lance and
It's long, it's impossibly lightweight, and it's crackling with like residual magic.
I'll tap Pixis on it.
Nothing happens, and Pixis just says, "Shard, shard."
Can I pick it up and investigate it?
You pick it up. It's a lance, and Pixis says, "Don't know. Extract? Don't know." But it can't merge with it. It's not like before. It just doesn't merge.
Oh. Okay. I'll take the lance.
Again, it's going to be a case of identification and attunement. Can you? You don't class as like a martial class, do you?
Warlock now, so
I don't know that you can. Well, you say warlock. No, you're actually mostly druid.
yeah.
With a touch of so yeah, with the level up, everybody listening, watching, we have now taken a level in warlock with Rodeo. This is the custom build we have been working on for Pixis. But yeah, if you can use lances, then you are able to use it. If not, then unfortunately it's a useless item to you. But it has a story to it, and you need to figure it out.
Yeah. Okay.
There is another item which you're Gottle probably drawn to the most. You recognise, I think, from the memory thing, you kind of recognise this crystalline kind of structure. I'm not going to say it's like an obelisk. It's I don't know. It's kind of, I'm trying to think of the right shape. It's a big smooth flat shape, but it's kind of like square and smooth on one side, but then it's all like gnarled and quite clearly natural formed crystal on the other side. And you kind of recognise this thing, and it's only through this memory card that you do recognise it. It's kind of like you're getting these little flashbacks to these things. And you kind of get the impression that it will activate and it will show you stuff, but you need to activate it. And I'm not going to make you try and figure out how you do that. I will tell you, you are going to have to expend a spell slot into it.
Right. Yeah. Let's do that and see what it shows then, I guess.
Cool. With advantage, make a history check.
So the first roll is 12, and the second roll is an 18, so we keep the 18.
We'll keep the 18. You sort of gather everyone round, and images start to appear on its smooth surface. It's too big to take with you. It'd be like hefting around an old, thingy TV. What do they call them? The you know what I mean, tube TV,
yeah,
sort of thing. Yeah.
Cathode ray.
That's the one. We see an image forming on here. I'm going to see if there's some music which might be slightly more appropriate. I don't think there is. Would that work? We see Lady Fiera, dressed in regal clothes, sat on a throne, similar to the seat that you found with the circlet next to it, the crown. There are families dancing in some sort of a ball. And then we see large explosions. The building is rocking and shaking, beginning to crumble as the whole place shakes. We see Opal dressed in a very pretty summer dress, a large floppy hat, as a girl. But with all this going on, terror across her face. There are two adults next to her, her parents. They seem to be trying to shield her, but a falling piece of debris from the floor above crushes them. It hits Opal, but not fatally. She's knocked aside. And Lady Fiera sees this as she's frantically trying to command people to flee. Whatever device recorded this is knocked over and lying near Opal on the ground. We see in the recording that Opal's still alive, but barely, as Lady Fiera rushes to her. She panics. She seems to be calling for people to come to her. Her aides, knights, a mage. And that's when we see more rubble, destruction. The whole place is falling to pieces as Lady Fiera sort of rears up, and these, similar to what you've seen with Opal, fangs appear in her mouth as she bites down on Opal and drinks. She signals to a mage at the very last second, and with a snap of a finger and a quick flurry of a gesture, they all vanish. And the recording turns to static.
Wow.
Are you okay, Rhoda? Opal?
So she tried to help me.
It seems that way. It saved you
Yes.
by killing you.
I would have died anyway. But I don't know if I didn't have the choice to choose if I wanted to continue living or not. Like you see, she starts kind of, you see that her eyes become like watery, and she kind of takes a, a posture like you can see that even though she doesn't look like a child very often, you see her being back to a child and kind of start, crying, and but not sobbing or anything. It's just you can see that she's shocked, but also because she never thought that what happened to her was because somebody was trying to save her. It always thought that this is a curse.
Lady Fiera must have valued you as well for doing that.
Yes. I wish she would explain to me. I wish I knew. Things would have been so much different.
If she's like you, then she should be still around, surely.
Maybe, but where? Where did that construct say the lady? What?
He thought he was here. She thought
He
People
thought she
who,
was here, but she's not.
and by the looks of it, they teleported out of it.
They teleport. But also, if they fix him, maybe he will remember. Maybe the construct will remember. Or maybe the
Maybe
rest of the Gothic. Do you not remember anything yourself?
nothing more than I've shared with you already, I think. Not holding anything back there. Maybe in the future this chip might reveal more, I don't know. But for the moment, this console here seems to have shown you some version of your past, so it's a gift beyond measure to know that you weren't thirsty,
Yeah.
you were saved. It could help you with your hunger.
I always felt as if it was a punishment for me rather than that somebody took away my life without asking me. I never thought that it was an action of, to save me, to keep me alive. If you say alive, what I am.
But you're not quite dead.
Well, I am. Yeah, not completely. But
Same,
I wish I could find her.
same way as me. I'm not quite alive, but I'm also not entirely dead. I guess maybe these artifacts there that we've got, we might want to identify and find out what they are at some point. The cloaks and gauntlets and the crown could make quite a dashing outfit there.
Yeah. I'm sure they will be useful to us.
That's right. The gauntlets look a little bit like the sort of gauntlets I remember wearing as a human. Except mine weren't magical, they were made out of, normal metal. Either crackling with something, but I don't know what. I have no way of identifying what they do,
No, neither do I.
other than studying them and, having a little see. But
Do we need a spell to identify them, or can we
uh,
just study them?
There is a spell for identification,
No, I don't have it.
but no amount of study is going to tell you what they are unless you actually get it identified. Because
Do we need to find?
so identification is kind of like um, understanding the properties of it. Because you could study it and go, oh yeah, it's a gauntlet and it has some sort of magical energy about it. But you need to actually
yeah,
study the properties of it to understand what it can do.
Yeah.
And I say that requires a spell of its own.
which we don't have, but we
I
might
think
find
the
somebody who has.
No, we don't. We haven't met anybody.
closest place is in Portbury, unfortunately. That we know of.
No, you would know as a seafarer that Portbury isn't the closest place. You've probably
Okay,
got.
perfect.
You'd probably find the next big port on the way back to Portbury would be Ventus.
That's where we started from.
It's where you started from, but we never actually started there. You started wrecked on the coast of Portbury.
I did. Yes. Right. Right. Rodia's gonna give Opal the normal tap on the head that he gives her, and then we need to see what we need to do next.
Yes. And hopefully we will find her one day so she can give me some answers.
Seems like she did, well, tried to do the right thing, so she's not a bad one. Hopefully.
Yeah. I wish I knew that before.
Wait, you can talk to your Crimson friends, could you not? They might know issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we picked everything up,
Those are the most prominent artifacts. And they're all pretty
Yeah.
decent, so you're not getting any more.
Okay. Do you want to try quickly tapping Pixis on the throne to see if it powers it again?
No, Pixis doesn't have anywhere near the energy to power this thing.
No, that's fine.
And it also, as you investigate it, you kind of get the impression that it needs to... It itself has its own socket, its own place. And this isn't it. This is just like, it's here
Where
being
it's kept.
stored.
Yeah. So the next on our agenda of exploring is to find out the controls of this island.
Before we go to the next, did we get any gold from it?
I mean, it's not going anywhere.
You can take a bit of gold, but you've got to bear in mind gold weighs quite a bit.
Yeah.
And
So how
unless you've got
much
somewhere
can
to
we
store it...
Do we have any bag of tricks? Not bag of tricks, bag of...
What now?
Hold on. A bag of holding. I've got a bag of tricks.
Thank you.
Oh, we said bag of dicks.
No, tricks, bag of tricks.
No, you don't have a bag of holding.
So how much can I take that will not...
I think realistically, in a coin purse, if that's what you have, you could probably take... I don't know, what's a realistic amount?
Well, I'm currently carrying...
20 gold or something like that?
Yeah, I currently have 500.
Yeah,
so...
I've got 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my bad for not imposing encumbrance rules. How much have you... Who's got the biggest amount right now?
Me.
How much?
I think me anyway. I don't know how much gold's got actually. I'm
in my
1,002.
I've got 1,250, and then we've got 1,500 in party loot.
But didn't Rodeo say specifically that you kept it in a chest, which is probably on board the ship, right?
That's the party loot, yeah.
That's the party loot, yeah. But we also divvied up some gold, which...
And you got what,
We're carrying
1,200?
around
1,200,
with
did you say?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, and I got 1,000.
We're going to say
I've
this...
got 500,
the properties
so I need some more.
The property of gold on Amion is slightly... it weighs slightly less than normal gold.
It's gold light.
It's gold light. But we will say 1,200 is the upper limit, so you can carry up to 1,200 pieces of gold, Opal, and that's all you're getting.
Thank you. Alright, I'll do that.
Yeah, none of us have actually done any shopping since starting.
And next time, we're going to find out that the world market prices have gone through the roof on everything.
No.
And encumbrance rules are coming in.
It's like the inflation.
There's been a huge inflation. Something's gone
Look,
terribly wrong.
Here. I have to be honest here. If we start inflation in Amion, I'm leaving. I cannot. I have it every day in my life. Please don't put it in our fantasy world. At least let's have some freedom.
A trade war has started between.
Yes,
in
please
fact,
don't.
I think this was part of the law given to you, or at least part of the reason why Albertus was going to Porthbree in the first place. There was, in fact, a trade war between Ventus and Porthbree, and he was there to try and sort it out.
Yes.
So there is a very real possibility that there's been a huge spike in inflation.
Let's not be as real as reality, please.
But that was always a thing. That was always from the very get-go. That was always a thing.
Okay, we'll convert it to platinum pieces, and we'll be fine.
Yes.
Conveniently in the corner there is a construct. It's quite large. It's very rectangular, very bulky, and it has several slots on it, and you can put gold into it. And then in its nether regions area there is another slot where platinum pieces come out.
Nice.
Very handy.
Very.
How many gold is in platinum?
Oh God, I don't know. Is it like
10.
10 gold to 1 platinum?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. 10 gold to 1 platinum.
100 platinum.
So you can have some platinum. this machine, and it's so happy. It's like it's just in the corner waiting for. It's got this entire sea of gold before it, and it cannot move. It cannot do anything. It's been stuck down here for 450 years on its own, and it sees you coming, and it's like, please put it in me. Put it in me. I want it all now. Give me your gold.
So,
And as you put the gold in, it starts ejecting platinum at the bottom, going.
so for the rest of the time you're spending there, Opal is keep putting gold in to make platinum, so she will end up with 1,000 platinum and 1,000 gold. Okay.
So what happens is, Gottle and Rolio leave the vault. They solve the entire campaign. Eventually, Gottle shuts down. Rolio dies of old age, and Opal's still there feeding stuff into the machine, and the machine's in absolute ecstasy for the longest period of time. It's just there screeching in ones and zeros.
It's like the 2p machines at Blackpool. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think 100 platinum is plenty to be carrying around.
And
Yes.
and there's
Yeah.
a tale that's told around the world of this strange binary sound which is just emanating from a hole in the ground on this sky island for all of eternity.
Hey,
That was cool.
hey, hey.
Yeah, let's go find the
Onwards. Yes, I've noted down the 3 items in inventory. So
Yeah, I've noted down mine.
just so you know, I'm not saying I'm keeping them. I'm just noting them down so I've got it written down
Yeah.
somewhere.
Well,
At
that's
some
it.
point.
If you don't write it down, you
Not
didn't
them
pick it
down
up.
because not them down because I didn't write anything.
I put them in my little chat channel there, so that counts as my extra nest to inventory to a reminder.
Well, like I said, if you don't write it down, you didn't pick it up. So it's always good to write it down.
I've written it down. Crown, some gauntlets, and a claw.
Lovely.
Swishy claw.
And I'm assuming, James, you're writing down that you've taken this.
Yeah,
Lance.
lance. It's a martial weapon. I am proficient in martial weapons.
Oh,
for
you
some
are.
reason.
Okay. So
Yes.
well, that'll probably be because you took Hexblade.
Yeah, probably.
Probably, I don't know because I haven't read it in such a long time now.
That was such a basic bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So yeah, we're creating a custom class for Rodeo for Hexblade where it incorporates Pixis. Basically, just reworded a couple of things. It's not like, if you have listened to Vaybauer, it's not like when Volta took Hexblade. It's completely different. This is more of a sentient weapon than a sentient creature taking over. So there we have it. Okay, what to do then, ladies and gentlemen?
Should we go?
I think I'm allergic to gold.
Why?
There's too much of it. Got to get out of this room.
Not all that glitters is gold.
So, yeah, I think we need to find the controls
Yeah.
for this island.
Yeah.
It could be that bloody chair.
Could be. How heavy is the chair?
Oh, how heavy is the it's solid stone.
Right. Okay. Well,
I mean,
I'll go.
it's like that white. It's almost like marble.
Right. So we've got
It's
the big.
made of pumice. We can lift it easily. No.
We got
Yeah.
the big constructs that could probably help us move it, but we need to find out where it goes first. There's no point.
We might not need to move it. This might be the control room.
I don't.
That console might show you the outside if you know how to work it. You don't know, do we?
No. Well, it doesn't feel to me that it belongs here. From my investigation of it.
Right. I'm not
That's right,
lifting that
anyway.
second.
I think that's what I got from my investigation roll anyway. It should be plugged in somewhere else.
Right. Okay, so where else? Where else do you want to go then? Go on, you lead, because my headache's just taking over the world. No.
I'll go talk to XC and see if she's got any hints, or they've got any hints on anywhere like controlly roomy.
Yes, you come out of the vault, and basically they will just say to you, there are areas of the city which may have once served as a control room, but I believe the throne would have always belonged in the throne room.
Yeah. Where's the throne room?
It would have been within the manor house. We may have to construct a new one.
I see. Yeah, can I go to where the throne room was to see if there's any indications there?
I'm afraid not. It would have been within the manor house, not on the ground floor.
Oh.
It is no longer there.
Great. Right. I don't remember what else is to look for now.
But we might be able to construct a new one. Can you explain to me how this chair, this throne, looked?
Well, it's the same compounds of the walls. It's white. It's got like a little lever system on the right hand side of the throne.
A lever system, the same as the walls. A smooth stone with arcane
Stone, yeah.
channels.
Yes, exactly right.
Hmm.
It doesn't look very comfy.
Perhaps there may have been alternatives to it just being the throne room. The original throne must surely have been destroyed. This perhaps is a backup.
That would make sense. It's quite heavy.
Hang on, let's make a roll. Unfortunately, they turn to the other constructs and seem to have a conversation. Nobody is aware of another location that may have been placed, but this does not mean to say that there isn't one.
I mean, we found nothing down there that would concern you. It's merely a doorway into a big room full of stuff. There's nothing that we've encountered that you'd need to be afraid of down there.
This is good news. We will gladly investigate it further ourselves. If you felt it necessary, we could continue with our repairs, rebuilding, and you could report back to us whenever you pleased. It would take some time to make things operational.
We can do that, certainly, to investigate and rebuild.
It is entirely up to you. You are welcome to stay as long as you like.
There was a console down there, which when activated showed the events
And they
of
sort
the
of
event.
stare off at the distance. I am not familiar with such a thing. And they look to another one. You, ZT42, you were part of the mistress's guard, were you not? And they say, I was. Do you recall devices? Consoles, I believe this one said. And they say, yes, there were devices. They could view what happened and store it for later to be reviewed. A way of recording information without it being written down. And then XC will look back to you and say, "Is this what you mentioned?"
That's right. Right. We got it to show a scene from the attack, we believe.
Similar to your projection.
Similar, but with maybe a little more detail in places.
Fascinating. We will have to investigate this further.
It might give you some idea to your origins there.
Perhaps. This sounds intriguing.
Is there anywhere else you would advise for us to check out before we go?
You may stay as long as you like. But if you wish to explore what is left of this place for now, then please do feel free.
Many of you still have the skills that you had before, whether do you retain the skills that you had before you changed?
Some of us, like myself, have retained skills, or at least the memory of it, and as we restore more to how they would be normally, or would have been in life, then, like yourself, like myself, then we will learn what they know more of. For example, I mentioned already I was an artificer. Many here would have been builders, architects. Other
Right.
artificers, engineers, soldiers. It is just a case of restoring
Any
the
mages?
memories.
Any magic users, any mages there?
Yes, some may have been. Perhaps their knowledge will be restored.
Okay, gang, I guess it's going to be a suck it and see and wait and see if anyone gets those skills back, but there might be an option for them to do the identification.
Yes,
Thing.
unfortunately, it's not going to happen quickly. It is a long process to rebuild and repair.
Yes, compiling all that memory, it's like, no. Right, so what else was there that we possibly might want to check there? We can't do the steering thing. We're
Have
not
we,
gonna
did we go to library?
Yeah.
check the library, there were books there. I mean, there were tomes in the actual
yeah.
treasure room, weren't there, involved? But there nothing, no tomes that you wanted there. And scrolls. Scrolls as well. I'm sure I remember
Scrolls, yeah.
seeing scrolls. But there might be scrolls to identify.
Yeah, maybe we can go have a look. Scrolls or any of the books is a spell book or anything.
Spell books aren't so much use, but a scroll might be useful. If you find a scroll to identify, that'd be great. 3 scrolls to identify would be better. 4 would be even better, because you've got something as well, haven't you, there?
Yeah, 4, yeah.
I remembered that in my counting as I was going along. I was paying attention, but I am struggling a bit, you know.
Actually, yeah, it would have been. Yeah, I completely forgot. I really would have been jumping on books and things. To be fair.
Yeah. So back down and look at those books then, Rolio.
Yes.
Alright, well, someone roll me an investigation then if you're looking for a scroll of identify.
$15 for me.
Anyone else having a look around?
Yeah.
12. I would think it'll have 17.
15 for me too.
Rolio and Opal, unfortunately, you don't really find anything, but rooting around Gottle, you do find a scroll. There are spell scrolls in here, by the way, like Fireball, basic stuff. But you do find one of Identify, happily. I did roll a DC, and you've just hit it on the mark. It can cast it once.
Right. All right, I'll put it.
So, Identify itself, you will have to touch an item. You cast a spell, and it will identify that item. So choose wisely, because there is only one.
So what do we have? We have the
Only one.
crown, we have the gauntlets, and what is the third one? Is it the cloak?
Cloak and the lance there.
What is a lance? Is it like
It's like a
a
big
dagger?
spear thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
lance.
A big pointy stick.
Lance, that's right.
I'm not sure if identify is going to work as well on the lance. So I think it's something to do with Pixis.
Would it not identify that then?
From what I'm like reading and stuff like that, Pixis is known.
I'm very curious for the crown.
You're quite curious for your gauntlets myself. But there's also the cloak. Everybody loves a good cloak, don't they? We can only do one. So, Opal, you want the crown.
I just, yeah, it's.
You want to know what it is. I mean, it might not be
Yes,
any bloody use
it
to you.
intrigues me. Why?
I mean, the crown's not anything like what we saw in the vision there, is it there? On the console.
Sorry, what?
The crown, does it look like what Lady Faye was wearing in the little vision from the console?
It does look very much the same.
Maybe it will give us a clue.
It looks very much the same. Let's do the crown then. Go on. And identify the crown. It'll say, look, it's a fucking crown.
You
Maybe
cast
it's just
the
a,
spell.
Oh, before.
You cast the spell. The scroll is destroyed.
Yes, as scrolls do.
As its energy courses through your arm and down into your fingers and into the item. It takes a moment, but you understand that this is the crown of ethereal dominion. Again, a delicate circlet of platinum and sapphire infused with residual celestial energy. This was once worn by the rulers of this sky island. It will grant you a +2 bonus to spell save DC and spell attack rolls. Once per long rest, you can cast Control Winds or Fly on yourself only. It is concentration free for 1 hour. Whilst wearing it, you can understand and speak Celestial and Primordial. If exposed to a celestial energy source, the crown may unlock a long-forgotten command phrase that influences the island's movement.
Dude.
Please, can I wear the crown? Please, please.
Are you a spellcaster?
Yes, I am. I've got Arms of Hadar, Gust of Wind, Hellish Rebuke, Invisibility, and Witch Bolt for now.
But classically, are you a spellcaster?
But I'm asking, it would sit better on the head if an actual spellcaster.
That's fine.
Is what I'm saying. You can't just give it out for fashion. It's quite a powerful artifact.
I always wanted to be a princess.
Well, maybe we'll make you one out of the platinum coins we've got.
Yes, it does specifically state it requires attunement by a spellcaster.
I count as spellcaster, and you count as spellcaster, Rolio. There.
Yeah, I do, yes.
So
And you'll look very pretty wearing it.
I can just imagine this sort of bender-shaped robot, the Princess Crown.
Yeah, would I know that I can't understand Pixis out of context here? Would I know that I can't understand Pixis because it's broken, or it's I don't fully understand Celestial?
No, you fully comprehend what he's saying. It's just it's broken English because he's not there's not enough of it together yet for it to formulate whole sentences and stuff like that.
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, if it's going to, by the sounds of it, control this island, Gottle, I believe it belongs better on your head.
If you're happy with that, if at any point we need to switch it, we can always switch it and you can attune to it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for now, I am thinking that it might be quite useful for some of my control things.
Yes.
That +2 to the old spell DC would be quite useful.
Yeah, I'm more than happy for you to have it. I think, yeah, if anyone's going to control this island, it should be you.
Yeah, it should be you.
If that's all right with you, then I'll keep hold of it for now. But if we identify the other stuff, obviously we'll revisit the whole thing.
What? So Opal would like to get some scrolls to have with her. Did you say there are scrolls of fireball? What else is there? So
Oh, let's
she
just
can
make
get
some up. You can have a scroll of fireball.
Yeah, give me a second. Let me just write it. Inventory, our possessions. So.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, what did I do?
I don't know, what did you do?
Oh, wait, I'm writing Greek. That's why it's freaking out. Give me.
So, anyway, we're also waiting for Bane to sort herself out.
Okay, scroll of fire.
You can have a scroll of fireball, a scroll of water breathing, and a scroll of featherfall. And all the other scrolls are either partly destroyed or illegible.
I think I can water breathe, so I might give this to somebody else. Let me see.
I can water breathe too.
I don't breathe. I'll keep hold of it for now, because you might want to sell it.
Yeah, well, I can water breathe, but I will keep it in case we need to give it to somebody else.
Cool.
So, well, the options are we leave this island now.
It's up to you. Do what you like.
Was there anywhere else that we needed to check the mana? We checked the vault.
The mana's done. Vault's done. Forge is done.
So you know what we saw about the lady that, like my sire. Can I find any more information in the library about her or anything that can help me think maybe where she might be? Or
Well, you can roll me a history check with advantage.
$16.
16. Funny that, because 16 is the number I had in my mind for when things in your life went slightly awry. So, you are, of course, in the body of a young girl, right? And perhaps the trauma of everything that happened, you maybe don't remember those years. But you remember, with this little jolt to your memory, you remember that around the time you were 16 and you were very rebellious, you kind of decided that Lady Fiera and what she was trying to teach you and show you, you weren't interested in. You just had this hunger, this lust, and that's when you broke away and you ran away, disappeared, and your life became your own, and you went off and you did what you did, as according to your backstory. You know that she has links with the Crimson Blade. You don't know what that capacity was because you were never let into that, but you know that there were always Crimson Blade about. But you remember she was, since you far surpassed your natural lifespan and you've become older and wiser, You know that she was trying to be a mother to you. You know she was trying to teach you. You know she was trying to do so many things to help you. But of course, being an angry teenager, you didn't accept that. You don't think, realistically, she was that far away when you were in Porthbury. You almost get the impression that that mentor of yours that was trying to help you may know more than they let on.
Okay, maybe he was sent by her.
So that's what you get.
Okay.
So, where do we want to go, guys?
The rest of this place
Back
is
to the-
in. I said they cleared the library specifically. The manor house is the main focal point, and you've done the forge, as you say. You've been down into the vault. There are other places of interest here, but they do need to work on them first.
Are we? So, what are you planning to do with the island? Are you going to move it to come with us, or?
We can't move it at the minute.
Are you talking to XC?
Huh? To
Yeah.
Gottle.
To Gottle, okay.
Well, we can't move it at the moment because we don't know the methodology, and it might well be with the throne, but the throne's not plugged in.
Oh, I see. Okay, so we need
So
to.
we're going to have to go back down to the boat if we want
Yeah.
to get anywhere at the minute.
Yeah.
But we could always come back to the island if we need a cash top up or an army of constructs or an island, you know. But
Yeah.
we've got our own little island lair, I guess.
Yes, and then if we will be able to move it, then we can go wherever we want.
Yes, I don't know quite how maneuverable. Can't quite.
Well, you never know.
I think they had some control, was what I got from the information.
I'm sure they could probably upgrade it.
Totally control it. Might, yes, but it might take a little time, you know. As I said, I just put the car through the MOT and by got it time to fix.
Went to the wrong garage.
I am substantially poorer than I was this morning. Yes, I think it's back to the boat and on with the onwards, as they say in Journey Quest. Onwards!
But do we go back to Porthbury or do we go somewhere else?
Have we got a reason to be going back to Porthbury?
Apart from the magical weapons, not really.
And
Well,
also,
that'd be better. It'd be better going to Ventus then, wouldn't we, for
I was thinking
identifying
Ventus,
things?
Ventus is closer.
And bear in mind, you know, I suppose we've got enough money now to pay the ship to go wherever we want for a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Let's buy the ship, I think.
Or maybe we should buy our own. But yeah, I think maybe if we, you know, went back to Ventus, found out what these things were, because you got that big pointy stick thing there.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, these chaps used to be artificers. Is it worth them seeing if they can open up the lands?
I mean, they can have a look at it for no reason.
When you were in the vault, and I had said there was all that gold in there, I was so tempted to go. There's also a big red dragon.
At the sign of the green dragon.
But no.
We'll bring back the white dragon from Dragon's Vice Barbecue.
Yeah. This is the one gold hoard that does not have a dragon attached to it.
Oh, yet.
Yeah.
Let's not advertise it. In fact, before we leave the island, should we take the old cog out of there?
No, because they need access to the throne.
Oh, they do. That's right. We'll leave it with Exy.
I mean, if you tell them what's down there, XC would pretty much say to you, we have no need for material possessions. There is literally no need for us to have gold. We don't need it. Not yet.
Oh,
perhaps.
But, you might need some ductile metal to do a bit of circuitry or so.
Perhaps as we venture into the wider world, eventually, then perhaps we will have need for it. Perhaps we should keep it where it is for now.
I think so. It's there if you need, repairs and stuff, I guess.
Gottle, before you leave, I have one surprise for you. We had been working on the companion. Would you like to see him again?
Oh, that'd be great.
And they bring him out, and he looks you up and down. You notice I'm saying he, not they. He's looking you up and down, at which point he says, "Paddy, is that you?"
Oh, I'm Mick. Are you Paddy? What?
Is it the other way around? Have I got it wrong?
I'm Mick. I was Mick.
Oh, you're Mick, I'm Paddy. Oh, well look, they didn't do such a grand job after all then.
They've done a bloody good job. I mean, you remember the name. It's 400 and God knows how many years. It's been a long time, man.
I can't believe it. It's worked out in the end.
It has. I think I've got a little bit of Guinness knocking around somewhere.
You got some business. That's brilliant.
Yeah, a little bit of Guinness there in the old thing.
They restored me. I'm back to me old self. Well, I say me old self. I don't remember being like this before, but I'm back to the self. At the
Well, you
very
definitely
least.
used to be taller.
So did you.
Well, I was. I've worn down a bit over the years.
It's wonderful what they can do for you these days, isn't it?
It's good to see. Maybe they give me long legs. God, wouldn't that be great?
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Maybe in time they'll come back and have a leg implant.
Hang on a minute.
For now.
There's something here, and he presses a button. It casts the spell enlarge, and you see his legs go as he goes whizzing up into the air on very long legs.
Good God, it's Cindy Crawford.
You say, "Could you believe it, there, Paddy?"
I can't believe it. It's like just huge, man. It's great. But God, it's been a long time.
He comes back down.
Do you remember life before the before?
Aye, we were at some sort of a party, I believe, and then there was some madman shouted about Zol and piss and other things, and then there was a big explosion.
We were very, very drunk, but I do remember the explosion.
Aye, I believe that was how it was.
It's good to have you back with yourself, I'll tell you for now.
Aye, I think so. But I think for now, I'd like to stay here and learn a bit more and help these people out.
That was always you, wasn't it, helping? I think it'd be good if you could. But it'll be good to catch up again sometime, maybe. I'll bring more business.
I will definitely have another pint of business at some point.
Right, so I'll see you again soon then, Paddy.
And he doesn't shake your hand, he gives you a big metally hug.
Oh, Paddy and Mick reunited after 400 and how many years?
50.
Yes.
Alright, well,
The drunken paladins live again.
They live again. They ride again. It is. I know. I said I've got an early start tomorrow. I know you got a banging headache. So as we're in striking distance of the usual ending time. So I think that is, of all places, a good place to end this evening. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. I know we didn't do an awful lot of rolling, but there was an awful lot unveiled in that episode. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. Thank you all for playing, and we will see you again in 2 weeks' time. I am fully aware of the fact that I didn't upload the last Summer Strahd episode, so you're going to get a double whammy over the weekend of this and the last episode of that. And we'll be back very soon. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.